Okay, so I wasn't able to. It's been kind of a busy morning, so this is another attempt at making this video. We'll see what happens. All is well. It's just been kind of busy around here with little things, little tidy up stuff, and then today will be another day of tidy up little stuff. It hasn't been a bad weekend. It's just been discombobulated. You ever had a discombobulated day? Or project, even. I just put on my foundation, and then when I looked in the mirror to make sure I didn't make a big mess of it, I'm seeing all these goat hairs sticking out all over the place. You know what? These may not last long, but boy, are they handy. Worth, when you buy them in bulk, like I think I must have bought 50 in a bundle from Temu for $10 or something. Less than $10, I'm sure. Probably like $8. And then I probably let it sit in my cart long enough that they offered it to me for $5. Every once in a while, you can get a really good deal on something. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Because I had never tried these before. And I thought, well, I use regular old razors with my stuff all the time. So why would I need to do that? Hey, so I'm planning on trying to figure out how to do a Zoom call, because not everybody has an Apple phone to do FaceTime, and evidently it's easier to do like family calls on Zoom. So if you're interested in that, send me a little. I have my post office box info in my description. Send me a little note through the post office. Just write a little note, and I'll include you in the Zoom. I would love to meet you face to face and chit chat. We'll see how it goes. We'll just say hi, bring a cup of tea, cup of strong black coffee. I have that in common with Plum. I love coffee. I know I shouldn't drink it, and there are some confessions I need to make before you send me a note with your info so we can do a Zoom. There's so many of you that I would love to meet. I haven't seen in ages, like Janice and Carol and Denise and Flower. I would love to see you in person. Oh my gosh. And oh my goodness. I'm drawing a blank. Of course, Plum and ABF. Hey, thank you for Suzanne Summers, of course. Gosh. Oh, here we go. Oh, and Rose. Oh my God. Come on, Rose. And Dinah, Patricia, Melissa, Linda, and Carmen. I don't hear from you often enough to feel like you're doing all right. I would just love to hear from you. Or anyone else. Come on. We'll figure it out. I'm not technology savvy. But I'm going to figure out how to do it. I might be able to set it up one way or another. If not through Zoom, through something. Oh, so also, when you send me your telephone number, Because I think that's all I really need to add you to any kind of program. Let's see what we can do. Can't believe I already put on my foundation. Oh, well, that's enough. Don't need to obsess over that. So anyway, what I was going to say is... Suzanne Summers, man. It was hard watching her pass away, but I think she gave some of the sweetest goodbyes on the internet. I'm going to cover up my hair because I want to use this brush before I throw it away. I'm not going to wash it. There are a bunch of brushes. I'm sorry. I'm going to just throw them in the landfill. I have been so careful most of my life on trying to be a good person, and I have failed in many ways. But I can tell you, I have really done well at not filling up landfills. And then I find out that people way above me are not taking care of the land. They're not being the responsible ones they want us to be. It's like, why are you filling up the air with all this yapping about do this, don't do that, because do your part, and yet you find out, wait, they're not doing the follow through. So, do you need my help?
Nope. Just bringing in a package.
Oh, okay.
For
me? Yay! I love mail.
It wasn't no get bed package.
Really? Must have got a package. Oh, okay, I got a confession. I'm sorry. I've been holding back. I have been holding back. And I may lose a lot of you because of this. And I've been trying to prepare myself for this all day, but I decided it was time to come clean. I am getting tired of being a good girl all the time. I'm a hot mess, just like a lot of other people. Kind of chokes me up, this level of honesty. I am sometimes a hot mess. And I've been telling you a little bit about my life story, but I'll be telling you more. So there's a reason. I'm not making excuses, but my mind thinks funny sometimes. My feelings feel funny sometimes. But I'm always trying to be a better person. I'm always trying to heal more. So I was kind of meditating this morning, not being fully invested in it, because I thought I need to get a paper and pen so I can write down all these things going through my mind so I can, be where I'm at. I just couldn't quite concentrate. And then it came to me, why? It was like I wanted to touch base with y'all. And then I thought, but I'm keeping secrets from you. One secret comes top of mind. I don't know what the other secret might be, but it seems like there might be something. Okay. I'm just going to tell you. I don't appreciate it when I don't have a high appreciation for people who don't understand that, yes, we have to take care of our own little pocket of the world, but we need everyone to take care of their own little pocket of the world. So, or a lot of people, we need as many people as possible. You can't do the battle by yourself, and you can't be sweet and nice all the time. Sometimes you have to find your voice and say it to be safe, to be able to really find a place where the BS can stop. Did you open it already?
It's heavy.
Really? That's interesting. I'll get it as soon as I put on some makeup.
No rush on mine.
Okay. What I'm saying is, because I've been in the military and I know how, I'm just going to be blunt with you, how messed up it is. The money that's spent for nuts and bolts is infuriating, let alone the bigger items, let alone the way every military section and unit and battalion and squadron and whatever, in the military, there are certain ways they go about getting money and advancing the money every year. And it doesn't make sense. It's not fair. It's ridiculous. It's like if they don't ask for enough money, if they don't spend enough money, they won't get money for the next year if they really need it, instead of just asking for the money. Also, people don't understand that on the world stage, you can either be a target or you can be in a more in control position. And people, when they're worried about what's going on in their town and community, do your work there, but don't interfere on the world stage if you don't understand it. That's what I say. I don't interfere in certain things because I don't understand them. It was one of the lessons I had to learn a long time ago, is saying, wow, I had trouble saying, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I got myself in trouble a couple times in my life because I pretended like I knew what the hell was going on. There's some times where I lucked out. But learning how to just say, I don't know, but I will find out. Now that gave me power. That put me back on the map. That made me happy. But I had to practice it to get good at it. So when people say, I don't want so-and-so because they're not nice, it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. Don't be pissed. Or be pissed, I don't know, but I finally have to get this off my chest. I'm not as nice as I try to be sometimes. The truth is, when I read the book 1984, when I was a child, that book was a warning. There are a lot of warnings out there. There's a song by a band called Destruction. Could I not remember the name of that song? It's so famous right now. But look up the band Destruction and then look up their most popular song and it'll pop up. And it's an old classic from the 60s. And it seemed like the one from the 60s, I heard a reviewer say this, and I absolutely agree. It was a beautiful song in the 60s. Who was it? Not Art Garfunkel, was it? Sang it. It'll pop into my head as soon as we're off here. But the song was sort of a warning to communicate more, to care more, to love more. And then anyway, that's long story short. But Destruction did it. Destruction redid the song. Same words, same lyrics, same, but the way he sang it sounded like, well, you didn't listen. So this is what you get. And I'm telling you what a beautiful song. And one of the things is, you're right, you have to be able to have conversations, be vulnerable, try to see if you can't figure things out together. But then there comes a point where, and I had to learn this the hard way, humans be human. And at some point, you got to let them know. You might not be the biggest show on the road, but you have some power. And if they don't know, they're going to find out if they keep tapping. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. See who gets slammed. Right? People don't understand on the world stage, our life in the United States could be drastically different. The life in Europe, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Canada, those countries want to be sophisticated. They want to have a higher learning, higher, look at, they want all these individual freedoms. I want these individual freedoms. Well, you know what? If your country isn't safe, whose freedoms do you think you're going to get? I'm not going to make this a ongoing political statement, because I can't think about politics on a daily basis or it makes me sick. But I can tell you, I do not want boots on the ground in my country, in our country, in this country. I was willing to fight for this country in uniform, boots on the ground. And I had lost friends when I first joined because they would say, why can't we just give peace a chance? Well, history. Did you ever take a War and Peace class? I mean, I know you're taking tree hugger class, biology, so you can count fish going down the stream. I've done that too, counting frogs, ecology to find out the hierarchy of birds. I get that. It's fascinating. It's interesting. It's yummy. But take a War and Peace class. Take a history class, a couple of them, with advanced learning. Find out what happens to countries when they're vulnerable for too long. We are so lucky here in the United States that we haven't been attacked more often than we have been. And that the attacks weren't more powerful than they were. We're very lucky, very lucky. I can say that attacks are very often very complicated. And I don't like that either. It's one of the reasons I'm not unhappy that I'm not in the military anymore. I don't like politics. And I don't like how the people in charge of the military treat their people. People in the military sign up for lots of different reasons. I get that. But one of the reasons is because the trade-off is worth it. All these benefits and making the agreement that, yes, I agree to put my life on the line. That's the truth. That's the deal. And I respect that. I just had to get this off my mind. I'm sorry. There are a lot of people who benefit from strong leadership in America. And if you want to fight about individual rights, oh my God, the irony of being in the streets, fighting for the right to do whatever you want to your body, when your country, when the very street you're standing on is at stake. I don't know. Do any of y'all have an opinion on that? And they'll say, I didn't vote for we'll call him the Big T, because I think YouTube is getting safer to say what you need to say on. Excuse me. Some of my favorite channels, they're finally able to say words. They're finally opening up and saying words and not being screened out. So that's very cool. But when you talk about, well, he's not a nice guy. He did this, he did that. And I can tell you, if you know mental health, if you've been around the block for a while, wow, the things that people point their finger at Mr. T for, those things have nothing to do with him being a good leader for the United States of America. A good example of leadership and strength to keep our country safe. Nice guys don't win in politics or in war. He doesn't have to. Mean guys don't always win in politics or war. What wins in politics or war is having a backbone, courage, strength, and a desire to win. It's just, where are those lines? Well, are whatever lines you're talking about having to do with the safety of our nation, or your feelings about him being a bad guy, a naughty boy, an obnoxious man? I don't care. Be obnoxious, be ornery, be human. I could talk a lot about, I am still a little surprised with how much money a couple of the other countries have been making, and they've been, I'm a little surprised. I don't know what's going on, because when you talk about War and Peace, when you talk about some of that history of people who stir things up, you think, why in the world hasn't anybody attacked the United States of America within this last 4 years, looking at the how the leadership has made these certain mistakes? It doesn't make sense, because nobody's afraid of Biden. I'm sorry, or Kamala. I no offense to anybody, but there's a lot more going on there. There's some kind of wheeling and I don't know. I don't even care. What I'm saying is, I'm sick and tired of hearing people talk about, I have some love relationships, close relationships with people who have been through it, who have had abortions, who are from the LGBT community, who live differently than the norm. That's just the way it is. But I love them. But their needs, my needs, don't come before the country. They just don't. My needs don't come before the country. I am going to try this mascara. It's called Big Lash from Temu. Well, let's see what it is. So, there's my secret. Oh, and here's the punchline. I am sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to hurt your feelings. And I applaud you for being whatever politics, religion, sexuality, whatever it is you are. God bless you. I'm just... You remember when I told you I have a neighbor who's had these Trump banners in his yard this whole year? They're still up. The courage that he had, and I I just thought, wow, what a family. Because it's not just that person, it's their whole family that had to have agreed to doing that. Because nobody's going to let their elderly parents or kids or whoever, do that and put their safety at risk. But we are in a fairly safe neighborhood, so either way. But anyway, I'm just saying, I'm tired of being in a secret. More than half the country and more than half the world is glad that Trump won. So I'm not alone. I'm not a freak of nature. I just had to get honest. My life may not be perfect. I don't expect anyone's life to be perfect. I don't care if your life is perfect. I don't care if you're a perfect person. I care that you're a type of person that can live with what's going on in your life. And if not, what can I do to help? So, if you want to sign up for the Zoom thing, send me an email, because I have my email listed there, or send me a note through the post office box, because that information's there. So I thought I would confess this before you signed up to meet me on a Zoom and meet each other. We never have to talk about politics. And if I do talk about politics, I just want to start being able to be honest. I'm tired of living in secret, living in the closet. I'm kind of tired of that. So there you go. Also, P.S. the cherry on the top of the cake. I ordered some Trump fragrance. I can't wait to smell it. I hope I don't hate it, because I'm so picky about fragrance. I usually send it back. But if I really hate it, I might give it to that neighbor that hung the banners. Just kind of slip it in their mailbox or something, because I don't know them personally. All right. I hope you don't hate me. Yes, I voted for Trump. No, I'm not sorry. I hope he can save our country. I hope he can bring back our hostages. I hope he can make our country secure and not be sitting on this fence of, oh my God, what's going to happen next? I hope he can straighten out the military so they're not making ridiculous, dangerous, heartbreaking, and sucker moves. Because I can tell you, after that Afghanistan pullout, I was sick. It was another reason I had this channel, is just so I could vent. But I didn't vent about that because I didn't want to be too political and run you off, because I needed friendships. And today I got a reminder, an old friendship. Her birth date popped up on the calendar. Not on mine, but on my spouse's. And he said, oh, guess whose birthday it is? And I was like, oh. And for a moment, out of habit, I was going to say, oh, I kind of miss her. I wonder if I should reach out. And then that was a split second. And then the thought was, wow, my stress level has really been reduced. And that's because she understood a lot of history. I mean, she studied the Jewish Nazi war and the victims, but had the belief system, if you just didn't fight, if you just were able to stand up for your rights, all would be better. But no, it has to be a movement to be able to save people, because the humans tend to want to protect themselves individually and not protect their neighbor if they have a choice. We have to make people so brave, so strong, that they have the guts to say no. That they have the guts to stand up for their country and have the pride. Make that bigger than going, well, you can find them over there. No. Yeah. I'm very shocked and disappointed and hurt at how many people would turn in their neighbors. The Jews, the vote Trumps, the people who don't take the vaccine. Did you see what happened to our country over a vaccine? People who didn't take their vaccines are over there. They even had phone apps. People thought that was a conspiracy theory, but I found it on my own phone. I took a snapshot, put it on Facebook, and I got in trouble. I think I put it on Facebook. I put something on Facebook, and that's when I got off Facebook. I just got tired of posting things that I thought were obnoxious, and I had references, and I had proof, pictures of what different people said, and I'm just tired of the lies, and so I decided, you know what? Enough things really fell in line today to where I was like, I feel like I'm a pretty good person. I don't like what it feels like to lie. And so I feel like I needed to get honest with you. I am in the middle to the right a little bit. So I'm at that 75% mark, I think. I'm not 100% red. I'm not an extreme red. I don't even know what an extreme red is. But we've seen extreme left on the news for the last 4 years. And I don't want to see it again. I don't think any country should be able to change definitions of words just because it fits their agenda. A riot is not a protest. Fire and damage and bodily harm is not a protest. It's a riot. And I love the LGBT community, but I know that there are physiological differences that make an actual male versus female. It's science. But in the dictionary, they have actually changed it. Just like anti-vaccine is supposed to be against COVID, there are COVID conspiracies. And the definition of a woman is it's if you decide to be a woman. In the freaking dictionary, turning its back on science. Anti-vax doesn't mean you're against it, blah, blah, blah. It just means you prefer to not make a habit of taking vaccines. You may or may not. You want a choice. To the degree you don't want any. But it shouldn't have the word COVID in it. Like, they put COVID conspiracy people, anti-vaxxers, instead of saying they're people who don't like putting vaccines in their body. And they would like to have the right to not do that. Oh, man, I'm getting all kinds of stuff off my chest. I don't know if I'm going to post this. This could be scary. Well, if there's just 2 of you left in here, I would be very thrilled to still have friends that I can tap into and get messages back and forth, maybe see each other on Zoom. I'm going to be really happy about that. But I am not trying to build this channel by being someone I'm not. I'm not even trying to build the channel. So why would I be someone I'm not? And I feel like today a light bulb went off and I thought, I'm keeping a secret. I'm actually pretending to be someone I'm not. I am passionate about some of these ideas when they're brought up. I don't sit around and think about them because I love my friends that are LGBT plus. I love my friends that have different opinions. I don't turn my back on them. I get it. If you want an abortion, I'll drive you there, sweetie pie. What can I do to help you? But I can tell you the heartbreak that I see in my office years later after someone's had an abortion, it's really hard to see. But we try our best to work through it, right? And I don't have a problem with that. There are a lot of people who have extreme opinions on things. I really try to stay somewhere in the middle. But I do believe in country, not just my house. Because the reality is, history shows that countries get taken over. And we've had some scary stuff happen in my lifetime in this country. I want to be able to die with things relatively the same as they are right now. Relatively safe. Nobody's in boots on the ground. I don't want a Pearl Harbor happening here. I think it's going to be interesting next 4 years. I'm 62 now, so I don't know what's going to happen in the next 4, 8, 12 years. I'm 60, next 40 years, probably live to 100. I'm excited to see what happens. But I really, even when I read that book, 1984, I thought, I probably won't live long enough to... I remember, I read the book before 1984. Because I thought, I wonder what would happen. If this happens in 1984, I wonder what I would do. And I thought, I would probably get killed, die, or if it were going to be that painful and scary, I mean, I'd rather kill myself and not have to go through the torture of what's going on. But 1984 came and went. I was born in 62. I was heavily reading in the 70s. I was probably 11 or 12 when I really started comparing Bibles. You know, my curiosity was like, why are there so many Bibles? You know, and then I was reading the hits that were out at the time. Zen of Motorcycle Maintenance, all Richard Bach stuff. Robert Heinlein. Oh, he had some good stuff. That guy, he stayed on the edge. Because we didn't have much TV. All right, I'm going to go because I think I've confessed enough. This is my darkest secrets. So, I hope I hear back from you. And if you don't agree with things that I've said, that's okay. I can still care about you, love you anyway. We can still be like kin, family. We accept each other the way we are. Forgive each other for being ridiculous. I don't know. But I would, if I had to choose, just so you know, if I had to choose between fighting for you individually and the country, I'd have to dress up and go fight for the country, because I'm going to believe that you can take care of yourself if our country is at stake. If our country's safe, I have more time and energy to fight for you. And I'd fight dragons for you. I fight dragons, other countries, other powers, for you to have the rights to do the things and say the things you want to do. Okay. It's better than dying in war. And that's one of the things I really stood strong on, was there's a difference between riots and protesting. I don't care what color you are, what country you're in, what your life story is. A riot is not a protest, and you cannot tell me the definition has changed here. You can change it in the dictionary if you want, but that's another way to brainwash people into believing something that is not true. If you want to change the definition of a riot to protest on all those city streets, Minneapolis, Portland, Seattle, etc., then why is January 6th not just a protest instead of a riot? Some people got hurt. Most people died because of health issues, pre-existing health issues they had, or by freak accidents, not by being bashed in the head with a brick or torched on fire. I'm tired of pretending. So, there you go. Hope I hear from you or see you. If not, good luck on your journey.